Michael Kollo from Evolved Reasoning, welcome to the Growth Symposium.
Oh, thank you very much.
Could you expand on what ChatGPT is?
Wow. Okay, so ChatGPT is an algorithm. It's a class of large language model, and it's essentially a really, really good algorithm at manipulating language. So it's got a lot of people using it to essentially transform language from shorter to longer, from formal to informal, to answer questions and those kinds of things.
And what sort of impact do you think this could have on financial services, or where are the potential uses within financial services?
So there's a myriad or a huge range of different kinds of uses in financial services. Everything from the transformation of financial information. So if you think about financial reporting, if you think about for just financial data forecasting, client servicing, HR, compliance, essentially anything that involves communication with language. So it kind of touches many, many different elements of this industry.
And this is only an initial iteration, isn't it? Where does this sit on like the growth within AI and machine learning or language models?
So it's an incredibly fast-moving field. ChatGPT came on the scene but 4 months ago in November of last year. In the first week, it had 1.2 million users. In the first 3 months, it had 300 million users. And since then, GPT-4 has been released, an upgrade to the previous version as well. Things are moving incredibly fast. Microsoft has invested 10 billion to kind of roll it around across Office space, and other entrants are coming. Google is releasing a Bard, which is its competitor product, as well as other smaller independent companies as well.
And from the context of a financial advisor who might, write to their clients, manage portfolios, where do you see the kind of direct potential uses of this type of software?
So as I said, I think it touches on almost every single point of that workflow. So say, for example, you're a financial advisor, you receive a financial report or some kind of market review. You take that, you put it into ChatGPT, it helps you to summarize it, it helps you to interrogate it, it helps you to write an email about it, it helps you to answer questions from the client about it, and so on and so on. Anything that you would do over language or email, ChatGPT will be able to help you and augment and probably improve upon the things that you do today.
And what are some of the weaknesses of the platform?
Well, so ChatGPT is fantastic at language and poor at math, which might sound like a lot of people that we know. But what's interesting about it is that it's just as certain about all the answers it gives you. So even when it says 2 + 2 is 5, it does that without blinking and tells you it's absolutely certainly true. And then you tell it it's being false, and of course it apologizes. So it should be used with caution with regards to any kind of quantitative or mathematical equation, but should be used with a fair degree of certainty for anything that relates to language.
And are we all going to lose our jobs because of it?
No, just me.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe that we're going to lose our jobs. The estimates currently sit at somewhere between 6 to 7% of the workforce that essentially will be improved, or in terms of augmentation, the tasks that they are doing, which basically means that we should see freeing up of time from more mundane tasks to better kinds of tasks. For certain kinds of industries, however, things like copywriters, marketing, or people whose job it is entirely to produce written content or to review it, there will be enormous efficiencies that will be gained, which means that smaller teams will be able to accomplish a lot more.
So if you're sitting in a financial advisor's office today, how would you suggest an advisor even get started?
Well, if I was doing that, first of all, I would look across my client list and I would think to myself, how can I double that client list from 100 to 200? Then I would go to ChatGPT login. I would create a login for free, and I would create another one on my, for example, Google accounts, and I would start to experiment with how I can scale my business using this kind of technology to write emails more efficiently, to contact my clients more efficiently, even to provide suggestions for advice to my clients in a hyper-tailored way using this technology.
Could it write an SOA?
Yes.
And last question would be, is it a fad, or is this set to stick around and become part of everyday life?
It's a great question. Like all technologies that come to market, there's a fair amount of hype that we all kind of aware of. We've seen AI hype before. We've seen big promises and less delivery. I think in this particular case, there is a fair amount of hype as well, but the underlying technology is nothing short of remarkable. As somebody who's been in this space for some time, I've seen the cycles come and go. I do believe this is a very new paradigm, and it will only get better because the biggest players in town of Google, Meta, and Microsoft are heavily invested in this stuff. So they will continue to improve the models and push it out into tools that we'll all have access to. So it's not a couple of niche players on the west coast of America. It's not a couple of exploratory companies. These are the biggest end of tech town and they're going to embrace this technology and they're going to make it better and more useful. It's not going anywhere.
Michael Kollo, thank you.
Thank you.